The Roz and Mocha Show. We talk to the people that everyone else is just talking about.
Lady Gaga, welcome back to Canada. Welcome back to Toronto. How are you?
I'm so happy because
right
you
here
have an
next to
album with you. You're asking me about my songs. You just talked about Jules and Drugs. We just high-fived about Too Short. This is like the best moment ever.
Well, hello, Art Pop Platinum in Canada.
Yeah, I know. Isn't that great?
How awesome is that? In like 7 days. You realize though?
I think about
What?
that I've had out, this is my fourth album, right? I mean, kind of. So there's, The Fame, then The Fame Monster it really was my second album. You know the story about that actually? That Interscope didn't want to put out another album for me right away. And then they were like, oh, I said, but I wrote an album and it's really good. And they're like, oh, okay, well, we'll just do a repack. And then I played it for them, and then they all went, oh, my God, you wrote a whole album. And I was like, guys, I told you I wrote an album. So that's really my second album.
Yeah.
And then Born This Way, and then now Art Puppet. What I was trying to say was, wow, I have a #1 in Canada after 4 records. You still like me. Thank you.
When somebody came to you yesterday and said, guess what? Your album is now platinum in this country. What was the first thing that went through your mind?
Tell him, what did I do? I had a big smile on my face. I wanted my own picture with the plaque. I kicked everybody out. I was so excited. I remember, I think I got my first plaque here ever for Just Dance. I think I was with you and I cried. I remember it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was so happy today, and, it's like, it's my little baby.
Yeah.
I care about this album so much.
How different was it recording and putting together Art Pop this time around at this point in your career, at this point in your life, than it was for, let's say, the last 3
say how
albums?
difficult was it?
No, how different?
Well, in a lot of ways, it wasn't very different at all, because it never is very different, actually. Every time I make an album, I go through the same shit,
Yeah.
I'm always completely mental and obsessed with the music for like a very long period of time.
Yeah.
I love making records, and so every time is kind of the same. But I would say that this time, when I was making this album, I was like, making records and going, oh, well, this is Complextro. That's okay. Just make it. It's dope. Oh, what about this? Oh, well, this one's a pop song, but it doesn't really grow like a pop song, art pop. It like kind of just, it's like an inferno. And I said, yeah, but it's so good. Let me just finish it.
Yeah.
And then, you get to do what you want. And I'm going, oh, but, no one really, I mean, I know how to write R&B songs. I've written a lot of R&B songs, and maybe I should just do what I want. And then, I say, but is it okay that it's an R&B song? And then my head goes, yeah, it's fine. Who cares? So, like, when I was making this album, this is written by somebody that has been a songwriter for 17 years. Almost 2 decades of writing songs. That makes me so proud, actually. I think that's the thing I'm most proud of. 2 decades of writing songs, and somebody that loves youth culture and art culture and raving and partying and throwing all of those things together and making the best party you've ever been to in your life.
Wake your ass up. The Roz and Mocha Show. Weekdays 5:30 to 9 on Kiss 92.5. The Roz and Mocha Show. We talk to the people that everyone else is just talking about.
When you listen to the album, song to song to song, you mentioned Do What You Want, straight up R&B song. A song like Applause, completely different. A couple of my favorites, Swine, Donatella, and Mary Jane Holland. The reason,
like that,
but
everybody's different. Everyone will have their own few songs that they really
But that's
love.
the thing. That's the thing that I like about it, is because your style, your vocal style, your singing style is different on all 3, and the production on all 3 songs are completely different. That's why it makes it such a great album, because every song is so different from.
That's what I would define as myself as a producer. Like
Right.
I mean, I produce with the guys as well, but the thing that I'm like really good at, like you mentioned Jules and Drugs, is I'm really good at being in the room with all of them while everybody's working and we're all working on different things, and then I hear something come out of somebody's headphones and I go, what's that? And he goes, look, oh, listen to this, and I'm like, oh, I print that, give that to me, right? And then they'll play me something else. They'll be, oh, but what about this? And I'll go, I don't really like that. And they'll be like, what do you mean? I'll be like, it just reminds me of this. It feels too now. I've got to push it further. So I'm really good at pushing really, really smart people to do their best work. I love bringing out the potential in others, and with these guys like Jules and Drugs, that's 4 different tracks.
Yeah.
And I was listening to all these different things that Paul was making. I was like, give me that, take that out of that mixtape. I want to hear that, and give them all to me. And he gave them all to me, and I went into my room and I sparked a blunt and I just started working on my own computer.
Yeah.
Just putting the song together, and then I started recording the chorus, and then I started to, create the synth pads underneath the chorus just to give them as like a hook bed, just to give them an idea of what I was thinking. And I literally just handed it back to Paul and was like, I want to get some rappers on this song, and I want it to sound like this. What do you think? And he was like, I love it. And so then we just started making it better and better. But that's what I'm good at. I'm good at finding what the producers are good at,
Right.
and then writing songs with it. And then at the end, I take all the music, and then I have like it's like a month of orchestration, I will call it, where I spend like a month looking at the ambient noise on the album but putting it inside a world.
So when you are putting together an album like Art Pop, your time in the studio or your time recording, how many songs outside of what we see on the final product, how many songs are actually recorded that don't get to make the final cut?
There's about 90 more songs that I wrote for this album.
And do those songs ever get to see the light of day down the road, maybe?
Yeah. I can't wait.
Yeah.
I have some, like this song, Onion Girl is amazing that I did with Zed. I did this song, Onion Girl is so good. I did this song with Maddie and called Tinnitus. That's really good. I did a song with Paul called In Like With You. I have some great songs, amazing songs.
When some artists put out an album, there may be an underlying message maybe that they want to get across to fans. When you put this out and you have a monster that is listening, or you may even have a brand new fan who is picking up Art Pop and had never picked up a Lady Gaga album before, you're gaining new fans, and they listen to this from beginning to end, is there a message that you want to get across?
Yes, I really want the fans to know that if they work really hard at what they love and their passions, that maybe someday Jeff Koons will make a sculpture of them.
And on a final note, what would you like to say to all of your Canadian monsters listening right across the country right now?
I would just like to say that I'm so happy to be back. Thank you so much for making Art Pop #1 in Canada this week and for making it platinum. I'm so happy to be here. I can't wait to come back for my tour. It's going to be a real crazy, ravey time, and I can't wait to perform for you. I miss you all.
The Roz and Mocha Show, weekdays 5:30 to 9 on Kiss 92.5.